So all the pies have been built. We have the Dividend Challengers, Dividend Contenders, Dividend Champions, Dividend Aristocrats, Dividend Kings, and the Dividend Titans. And there's also something called the Dogs of the Dow, the Noble 30, and there's 10 high-yielding UK-based Dividend Aristocrats. Then the pies I had before are Dividend ETFs and Dividend Monthly Payers. So all 50 of these pay every month, and I've set the target for €5,000. Now it's doable over the next couple of years. All of these will pay every month. They were here before, but these ones I have put loads of €1 orders in to fill in these gaps. Then I can export them all, put them all back down here, and then begin investing into each of these pies equally. So the first is the UK Dividend Aristocrats, and all of these have been paying dividends for I think 10 consecutive years. They have no yields over 10%, and they have at least a $1 billion market cap. And this is from Dividend Power website, so I'll update it every year. The second is the Noble 30, which I've done before. This is 30 of the most notable European dividend stocks from 2021. The next one is called the Dogs of the Dow, and this is the 10 highest yielding stocks from the Dow 30 on the last day of trading of last year. Then there is the Dividend Challengers. These have paid consecutive raised dividends for between 5 and 9 years. And I picked the top 40. Now bear in mind, all of these are after the COVID drop, because a huge amount of stocks either cut their dividends or stopped paying them, but all of these are the ones that paid through it. And I think, yeah, every single one of these has paid dividends for at least 9 consecutive years. I picked the top 40. And by the looks of it, I only have about 4 or 5 of these already. So there'll be a huge amount of new stocks. And the easiest way for me to add a slot for any of these new companies, to add a slot down here in the library, is to invest into all of these pies once, export everything, and then import them down here. Because the ones I already have will just slot back in, but anything that's new, I'll have to readjust the pie, and it will show me basically whichever ones are new that I haven't got. So the next one, the Dividend Contenders. These have paid consecutive raised dividends for between 10 and 24 years. And there is 40 of these as well. So by the looks of it, I also only have about maybe 8 of them, and maybe more like 10. But they've paid consecutive raised dividends for between 24 and 19 years. Because I put all of these lists, I put them in order of consecutive raised dividend years, and then I started at the top and worked my way down. So there will be quite a few that are in these groups, but I just don't have them. But you can only have a maximum of 50 in any pie anyway, so I just thought I'd pick 30 or 40 for most of them. Next is the Dividend Champions. These have paid consecutive raised dividends for at least 25 years, but they're not all part of the S&P 500, which is basically an index of the best 500 stocks in the USA. So there's 30 of these ones, and they range from 67 consecutive years to 51 consecutive years. But I'll do a proper video on all of them, breaking down each company. This is just a general gist. The next is the Dividend Aristocrats, which they also have at least 25 consecutive years of dividend raises, but all of these are in the S&P 500. So there's 40 of these, and the top 2 have paid for 60. Now, not these, they're not in order here, but the top 2 have paid 65 consecutive years, and the bottom one has paid 38 consecutive years, and they're raised dividends. Next is the Dividend Kings. These have all paid consecutive raised dividends for at least 50 years. These are some of the best. They've not only not missed a payment, but they've raised it every single time. Very nice. And the top one, the Dividend Titans. These have paid consecutive dividends for 100 years or more, but not raised every time. They just haven't missed the dividend payment. A lot of very strong dividend stocks here. So that's the beginning of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different pies on top of the A to Z library of each stock. So some of these that are present in multiple pies will be bulked up much faster than the less distinguished stocks. And what I'll do is at the end of each year, say for the 2023 Dividend Kings, I'll add the new companies into here, remove the ones that are no longer Dividend Kings, but whatever companies are moving into the next year, they will start with a kind of a head start. They'll have a much larger amount invested in them already. So the longer they can stay in these lists, the faster they'll be bulked up. But this is it now. It's beginning. Just have to export everything from here and then I can start. So what I'll do is, I think most of these are set to like a 2,000 or 1,000 euro goal. And when I hit that goal, I'll just start investing into a different one until they're all full. And then I'll set an even higher goal for all of them. But I'll bulk them up one by one. But that's all for this one. And I hope that this was useful.